Hello. Today I just wanted to share my favorite art books that I own from my own personal collection that I started about 5 years ago. Yep, that's the video. So my first ever art book that I got was Space Drawing Perspective. While it is another book that teaches you drawing fundamentals, in this case obviously perspective, it makes the learning process really digestible, casual, and fun. It has a lighthearted tone to it, and what I really like is that it teaches you how to take the theory of drawing boxes in perspective and how to apply that to real life, but also vice versa. How do you take things from real life and break it down into boxes? And that's ultimately why I really like this book. It keeps things simple and relatable and fun. This next book that I own has had a huge impact on my life, and it's the movie Art of Syd Mead, Visual Futurist. While it's not the book in particular that made a huge impact, it's me discovering and learning about Syd Mead and who he is, and ultimately just looking at his work and thinking, wow, I want to do what he does. That's the impact. If you don't know who Syd Mead is, and you want to get into entertainment design, or sci-fi, or just concept art in general, you absolutely need to know who he is. He's one of the most influential sci-fi concept artists ever, with his visions of the future being so bold, hopeful, colorful, and optimistic. But ironically, his most famous work is Blade Runner, which is like the complete opposite. But when you look at his work, you can tell he's a master draftsman. He never wastes any lines, and every stroke has purpose, and his work has so much gesture and confidence to it. And what I also love about Syd Mead is that his process is so honest. It's just paper, pencil, pen, highlighter, and ruler. That's it. Even when the industry was moving into digital, he still championed traditional tools because that's what really matters. It's the design. So while you don't need to own this book, because it doesn't have everything, only his movie stuff, if you're a concept artist, it is absolutely necessary for you to do your homework and be familiar with Syd Mead's work. Alright, my next favorite is the art book for Destiny. I have volume 1 and 2, and I got them as a gift from a friend, so shout out to him. But volume 1 for the original game is still my favorite, because you essentially get to see the complete journey of the creation of a brand new IP and execute it at a very high level. You have Bungie, a AAA studio with incredible talent, an insane budget, and a basically blank canvas to create whatever they want. And it's pure freedom created at the highest level. The paintings in here are so beautiful, there is so much mastery over their craft, and I have a personal bias, but Destiny is still one of the best art directions I've seen for a video game to this day. So yeah, it's still one of my favorite art books that I own, and I highly recommend it. It's great. This next one is the art book for Armored Core 6, and it's so fucking good. While I own volume 1 and 2 for Elden Ring, I always revisit the art book for AC6. It's just a pure workhorse of a book. Because when you flip through and look at these drawings, you can tell the artists were only concerned with one thing, and that was to design things that will assist in the making of a video game. They weren't concerned about it looking beautiful, but as long as the job gets done and it communicates what it needs to, that's all the artists were worried about. And I fucking love that, because at its core, that's what concept art is. A lot of the drawings and paintings here are really loose, rough, unrefined, and sometimes pretty quick and dirty, and there's like little notes everywhere, but that's totally fine. And what I also really love is that it's very obvious that the artists on this team have their own style and unique way of communicating and drawing. Like, for example, there's an artist that only uses a thick line to communicate their designs, and that's it. There's no filling in the silhouettes or colors or anything, which I would personally find quite shocking, to be honest. But that's all they do, just line art, and that's it. But then, like, right next to them will be an artist that clearly loves to paint and blend, and all their paintings have this very tangible texture to them, and that's just how they like to do things in design. And then, like, before that, there'll be someone whose drawings are extremely surgical. Every line is drawn to technical perfection, and they separate all the parts and the exact colors, and it's very clean. And that's what's so fun about this book. It clearly shows that all these artists have their own process and way of doing things, and that it's completely valid, because at the end of the day, their North Star is still all the same, which is essentially creating blueprints to help make a video game, and that's it. So the Armored Core book is really great because it's, again, it's very honest and it's not trying to be anything it's not. These are just the blueprints and the production of a video game and how they got there. The final thing I want to shout out is not a single book, but a series of books that I own from the artist Plastiboo, Vermis 1, 2, 3, and Godhust. If you're not familiar with their work, these books are essentially fake video game guides, kind of like how we used to have them in magazines and stuff. But these are to fake video game worlds that Plastiboo has created, and it results in a very unique format of storytelling, and it's fucking awesome. By pretending it's a fake video game, the world and story has so much more authenticity and tension to it. Like, you'll encounter NPCs, item drops, status debuffs, and maps to locations that you'll explore. And it gives the world so much more depth and purpose. And even when you put the video game guide format to the side, Plastiboo's work is just hauntingly beautiful. It oozes an atmosphere, and there's so much grit and texture, and it somehow perfectly captures that 90s to early 2000s dark fantasy aesthetic that we would find in video games. I absolutely adore their art, and these books, I would highly recommend them. They're just pure art. So yeah, these are my favorite art books that I've collected over the years, and while this isn't everything that I own, these are the ones I constantly find myself revisiting. So anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.